And we are back, I think. So we're gonna do kind of decisions. I don't want to get fully into it because it will take too long. So I probably won't get into the timed decisions part for now. I'm gonna make files and then I'm also gonna import some. And yeah, I'll have the template actually in this Discord for once, so if you need the decisions template. And also, I try to help you um, in the server if you need help. So, yeah, there's that too. Additional help, that is. So, we're going to start for decisions. We're going to go ahead and get to HOI4. Also, I figured out you can hide everything, which is nice. I always wondered how YouTubers had the most clean desktops ever. It was just because they hid all their stuff. My thing goes like to right here. Anyways, how do I get to HOI4? That should be a whole tutorial, how to get to HOI4. Before we launch it, first thing I'm going to say, and I'm probably going to forget to put it in the description, but I might, you'll go to HOI4, right click it, click properties, and put these two in, debug and crash data log. These are good. Debug is so you can make mods. It's always good to have debug on. Debug will always have errors. Not all of them are your fault. Some of them are HOI4's fault. Some might be yours. And crash log tells you the last crash it's read before, or last log it's read before it crashed. So it makes fixing errors easier sometimes. Alright, so we're going to do what we normally do. Click play. And again, if you're importing it from the Discord, you're just gonna want to drag and drop it after you make the file. It's easier than like dragging and dropping it into just your folder. And that's just because it doesn't make all the stuff you need. So we're gonna click upload mod, create mod, decisions, one. Just gonna copy that name, decisions, off to the history. You can choose any tag, you can change it later, it's fine. Alright, so we have decisions right here. I'm gonna click these three dots, click show in folder, and also I wanna, my mouse. Yeah, I still struggle with remembering if I enabled my mouse. I'm not gonna open the base game files for this because I'm just gonna make all the files and then import them as I said. But you can use the base game files if you need to. And again, it's all gonna be in the Discord. All the stuff I paste in is gonna be in the Discord after this video's up. But it's highly recommended to watch it. Alright, so the first thing we need to make is commons, common, not commons, and we need to make decisions, decisions. Again, any typos will mean it does not work. Like, if you have, I'm just making sure I'm making sure a lot of things working. But if you have a typo, your mod won't work. If you have a extra bracket in your mod, it won't work. That's why I recommend Visual Studio Code, which is also linked in this. I have it auto link in the description every video. And in here we're gonna have categories, and then we'll paste in the text files. Alright, next we're gonna make GFX and interface, and then decisions and interface. Decisions. We're going back to our base mod area. We're gonna make another folder called interface. Yes, we've already made one, but there's two interface. There's one in GFX and one outside of GFX. Alright, and in this, we'll do that after again. And localization. This one people struggle with the most because it is spelt a certain way. If you misspell it with a Z, it won't work. Localization, spelt like this, Again, if you misspell it, it won't work. Now in here, in localization, if you're coding if you're making the mod in English, you'll make an English folder. If you're making the mod in German, you'll make a German folder, etc. You don't need all of them if you're not making a mod for all those languages. It's whatever your game is set to. So if your game's set to English, you'll see those. I don't think they'll show, unfortunately. So if it's in like a different language and someone else is playing your mod and you don't have that language added, but you can set it later on. Now, when you're making one of these files, I'm just going to make a example real fast. Well, we're going to actually use this example. This is the one txt file we're going to write manually. So, for this, we're going to do a decision underscore lock underscore L underscore English. You need L English, that is important, or it won't work. The other stuff you can name whatever. And in here, I'm just gonna do English. I believe it's 1. I'll have to check what it is, but I think it's like that. We'll check in a bit. All right, now to the importing part. In common, in decision, we're gonna import some files, and I'll show you what I imported. Alright, so I've imported regular decisions and time decisions. Again, we're not going over time decisions right now. And I also imported something in category. I do want to say this is misspelled. This A right here, the second A should be a E. Categories. Alright, and then here we have decision category. You need this, of course. Alright, so in decision categories, I want to start with this just so we can understand it because it's all here already. What we have is simple category, which is the ID of the category. This could be whatever you want, and I will most likely change it later just to show you. Priority 9, this is like if it's going to be higher or lower, as you can see the comments right here. So if it's like 100, for example, it will most likely forever be on the top, unless there's something higher than 100, like a 101. The icon of it, which we'll also bring in. And this is the reason why I'm not manually typing this, is because it will take way too long to do that. And if I go through base game decisions, those decision trees are extremely long, and so you might accidentally break something. This is a template, I believe, by Iron Workshop, I think, and it's kind of outdated, but it works to an extent. So this is the category, and again, this comment that he left saying if you remove hashtag, yeah, don't do that. Don't remove the hashtag unless you're removing the entire comment, because they comment out, they don't mess with the code. Next, you have regular decisions. You have simple category. It has to be in a category, so the category we just defined up here, it's in here. And let me open this in visual so I can show you real fast. But if you load up the game now, yes, you technically have a decision. So in here, if I went all the way down, you could see it ends right here, and then there's other stuff, but that's not important right now. It's just, this is all extra stuff. If I removed this, it will become red. This is for me. I have in Visual Studio Code. I don't believe it's a plugin, but I've heard it's a plugin. But there are HOI4 Visual Studio Code plugins you can get, which I also would recommend getting anyways. They're good to help you code. But you just need to know where, like, if you have too many of these, too little of these, you know. Like, if you have too many, yeah, you don't want to have the code messed up. The best thing about it is you can see Like, this ends here. It tells you if you click it. It's another good thing about it. You always need to double check. There's always mistakes. 99% of the time, most errors of reasons why stuff don't work in my tutorials is because there's typos. So that is the most, common. Anyways, so after simple category, you have simple decision. This is the ID of the decision. Then you have the icon, which we'll again set later. The available. Most people that make HOI4 mods will know what available is. What you have to do in order to be able to do the action or to do the decision. Say, own a certain country, or a certain country does not exist. Fire only once means it will only fire once if yes. If no, it can fire multiple times, so it can something like dismantle country would probably only want to be fired once. Days re-enabled. I'm not entirely sure what this is, so you can read the comments. Visibility, the condition it needs for the visibility. The cost, so like how many political power it would cost. It goes by, I believe, just, it's not like focus trees where it goes 1 as in 7. No, this can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that will be the number, so 7 is 7. Complete effect is just basically what happens after you complete it. And basically what this is doing is it's doing a hidden event, so you can't see it in game, but it's giving you 500 political power, and of course doing whatever effect the AI is. AI will do, the higher the AI is, the higher chance it will do it. So 100 is like 100%. It will do it first, unless there's something above 100. Again, so if you, I don't ever go above 100 whenever doing stuff. So if you want the AI to have a 50% chance of doing it, but yeah, and we're not going to undo that for now. So this is what we're messing with. I mean, we're just gonna change a few things probably, but we're gonna add the other stuff now. So we're gonna go back to common, and in GFX interface decisions, we're gonna add 3 of these real fast. So these are the icons. We have decision icon, category icon, and category image. And I'm assuming, I've not really messed too much with categories. I'm assuming the category image is like kind of a map-ish image. But, we have the icon right here. So these will auto set because they're already set to it, but I'll show you also how to add new ones, so we don't need to mess with this. Next, we're going to go to interface, and this is how you add new ones with GFX. You need both. So, alright, so for the interface, you have this. To add a new, we'll do this one, just so we can have it for later. To add a new one, you'd simply copy this entire thing right here. You need GFX underscore decision, but you can change like icon underscore default. So underscore icon, I don't know, just add an extra icon. And the image, which is in GFX image, we're gonna change this and just change it to icon, and then we're gonna go make one real fast. So we're gonna go back to GFX interface decisions. We're gonna grab decision icon default, paste it, and rename this part of it to underscore icon, like that. Now, what I'm going to do is, just so you can see it's different, we're going to use the master skills. I don't know where my thing is. It's just going to be black because I don't know where it is. I'm just going to save that. I'm using paint.net. It's free on the website, not on Microsoft Store though. So, don't know why. There it is. Yeah, well, this is going to be it. I didn't change. Ow. Alright, so the next part of this, of changing the icon, is you want to grab this piece. Not this, because you just defined the texture file. And we're going to go back to common, decisions, and regular decision. So we're going to grab gfx underscore, and we're going to paste that entire thing in here, unless you don't want to change it and you just want the default. But yeah, that's how you make your own icon. So it's just going to be a black image now. But yep. Now let's get to adding the rest of the files. We have localization. Now in here I said I was going to do it manually, so we're going to go ahead and do it manually. Alright, so oops. So to do this, you need to do, it's L underscore English, like this. I'm going to save that. I'm going to open it in code. So we have this. We're going to drop down, do a space, because, you know, you need a space right after. It makes a little, it like categorizes it under this. Now, we need to set some names. Because if you load up Hearts of Iron 4 right now and you look at the decision, oh my god, I cannot talk. If you look at that, it will say simple underscore category, and you probably want spaces. And you can't do that because the localization does not exist. So we're going to go back to category, decision. Alright, so we're going to copy simple underscore category, paste it in here. And we're going to do 2 dots, 0, space, quotation marks, and then the name. So category, I spelled category wrong again. Or something, I don't know. Like that. Next thing you'll notice is this is a txt file. We need it to be a YML. So we're going to go ahead and save as, and click this, and we're going to just change this to YML, and I don't know if YML's in here. Oops. Yeah, it is. And if it's not here, I'm pretty sure there's like a no extension you could do. And then if not, that's not there either. Make sure this YML. You can just paste any of them from the base game HOI4. YML. There you go. So now category is defined. You can also do the other one, but I'm gonna boot up HOI4. So we're gonna go to playsets, add. Well, I added both. And once it adds, we're gonna remove that one. Decision. This is in playset, the default one. So we're gonna launch that, and we'll see you in game. Now you'll always receive errors. It's just a thing that happens. And so, yeah, but as you can see, my localization has an error, and we'll fix that. But first, we're just gonna load in, choose a country, and show you the decision. Should have probably done like a default country. But as you can see, our image that we set is right here. It's in simple category, and you have all this other stuff, which I'm again not messing with right now. So our decision's right here, and we're gonna open base game files so I can copy some stuff over. So in here, we're gonna right click, click manage, browse local files. Now we're in base game, and we're gonna go to the other one, reopen this. Alright. So go to decision, localization. Now, what I always want to make sure, again, there's not a typo, so I'm going to click F2 on this, Control C, and I'm going to go back, click F2 on this, make sure there's no typo. Next, we're going to go to English, make sure they're the same, and I'm just going to remove these basically, and just copy one of these over, like this. I'm going to rename this to, go like this, decision localization L underscore English, and it has all this stuff. We don't need any of this stuff. I'm going to keep the top one for reference, delete the rest, like this, and this is going to be changing to simple underscore decision. I'm not going to do category because I'm going to misspell it again, and I don't think it will update yet. I think there's a reload decision. If it doesn't update, it's because we have to relaunch because we did make a new file. But yeah, so let's relaunch real fast. And as you see, since we re-added the localization with the base game file, it, didn't give me an error. Once here, go to decision, and you can see the name. Now you'll notice the name is currently, I didn't even know you can color the name. That's something new. So to color it, you use this, at least yellow, you use this character, apparently. But this is just, we took this from the base game and I didn't rename it at all. But I can go ahead and do this, and it should update. Or if I believe if I do reload decisions, yeah. So this is the decision part and how to name it, and we want category too also, which we did earlier. If you want to, we'll do description real fast. So simple decision underscore description, and then we'll go, oops, like that. And so what a description looks like, I don't know which one of these, I don't know if any of these actually do have descriptions. This one does. So you've seen what the description kind of looks like. If I reload, yeah, it has its little spam description. Now let's add some stuff to it. So reopen this folder and go common, decisions, regular decision. Let's open that up visual. Now we need a effect. I'm just gonna go look for our effect real fast, but there's a site I have linked in the description that has a whole bunch of the effects you can use. Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead and do retire. I believe that's an effect, as I'm in the effect page. So for regular decision, we're gonna find, where's effect? Right here, completion. and I'm gonna put it in hidden. No, we'll actually show it. So I'm just gonna put it right here. Retire equals yes. Now we go back to HOI4, and it hasn't updated yet. We'll just do this. Maybe I have to restart. So this is Japan's leader. We'll test it, and if it doesn't work, we have to restart. Yeah, so we have to restart real fast. So it should, yeah. I kind of wanted to make sure it retires him, so I added retire country leader and retire ideology leader. It doesn't seem this retire is actually like showing up, so we don't actually need this one, which is weird. It should show up, but I think this also plays for all countries. But to prevent that, you could do, I believe it's like this. I think it's a square. No, it might be squiggly brackets. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's like that. So if it's Japan, it will retire a leader. But if I tag like Germany, I don't think it will retire a leader now. Yeah, so it has to be Japan. I think if I click this though, it retires Japan's leader. Yeah. To prevent that, you can make focuses just for that country. Where was I doing it? In here. So I want to make another. We're just gonna copy it. We're gonna copy actually right here, all the way down to right here. Control or Shift click, Control C. We're gonna go right here. We're gonna name this Simple Decision 2. Oh, there's already a 2. Underscore 90. Alright, so we have Simple Decision 90, and as you can see, Simple Decision 90 is added. So now we're just testing, of course, because I don't actually know if this will work. But I believe if you do Japan and you do the squiggly thing up here, I believe you could do an individual bracket. But we'll see. No. Nope, that's just its own thing now. I'm not entirely sure how to do, you know, it's their own country. If you guys know, you could tell me though. I would love that. Because that would be awesome. Also, I just saw that this was red. I mean, available if you're Japan. Yeah. Country is Japan. So if you're now Japan, this one is available. Again, I don't know how to make it hidden. If so, because I don't actually know how to make it a actual, just, you know, the actual country event, than just, I mean, I'm sure these probably say it, but I don't feel like looking through all those. And then the cost, let's change the cost of the first one. So the cost, we're going to do 200. As you can see, it's 200 now. You could change it to 5, and it will only be 5. Most of the time, files do update live in game. Typically with debug mode at least. Typically they don't. If it's a new file you just made, you have to relaunch. We can remove. We'll keep that. What else is there? Visibility. I guess you could probably set Japan here. Probably. Nope. It'll still be here. Well, yeah. I don't know how to do that part. I don't know how to do the I tried. I believe this won't be visible if debug mode is off. You could just turn that off. Is debug? No. I mean, now it's gone because you're in debug. But yeah, you can turn that off or on, or just remove it. I think you could just remove it. Yeah, you don't need that. So if debug's on, this will be visible. So that's another good thing is if you're testing it but you want to publish your mod, you can make is debug on. If there's players playing with debug mode on while playing your mod, I mean they'll be able to access it, but they're in debug mode. So you can also make it so AI. If the AI can do it, yes means it will, no means it won't, so they can't just like bully Japan. I think that's about it, honestly. It's very simple, and I've kind of went straight to the point, so I'm hoping this is kind of short, 31 minutes. Okay. Hope you guys enjoyed. I try to explain the best I can. Yeah. Goodbye.